Hey guys, Oklahoma DX1 9-pound hammer. I want to talk about amplifiers and tuning and classification and why it's so important. Input and output. So guys, an amplifier's got the input and got an output, and it's important that we get the match right on the input and output, because the input and output tuning is what characteristically controls the ability for the RF to come into the amplifier and for the ability for the RF to make it out to the antenna. If the output tuning and the output transformer and the output stage of the amplifier is not tuned and balanced, then the RF does not want to come out of the amplifier. If the input of the amplifier is not tuned properly, then the amplifier doesn't want to take the RF. It wants to hit the front of that amplifier and wants to go a different direction, wants to back up, wants to reflect, go back to the transmitter. If you do get the input right and then you got the output off, I see this a lot. Well, you've got the amplifier to where you're getting signal into the amplifier, but now the amplifier's sitting there cooking, just sitting there running red hot. Why? Well, it's because the RF can't make it out of the amplifier. It's sitting in there making heat, saturating the input and output transformers, breaking down the device, heating the transistor, trying to find the path of least resistance to try to get out of the amplifier. Well, when the output stage is so out of whack, the RF can't make it out. It sits there and just makes heat. Now you have an amplifier that's basically a damn dummy load, because all the signal is not able to get out, and it starts cooking and breaking down the amplifier. Even you guys that are even you guys that are running amplifiers, I see a lot of them. A lot of people talk about, oh, my amplifier's just cooking. Well, I promise you, that is a tune issue. The RF is having issues getting out the amplifier. It is so key. I want to also, guys, the amplifier is fixed. It's fixed in. So, meaning the amplifiers that we use and what we run in the areas that we run, they have a pretty big window of operation. Meaning that they're set and tuned at 50 ohms or close to 50 ohms. So, with that being said, you have a pretty good window that, tolerance window. And in some situations, I've seen that where you can even have a little bit of an SWR, say, without the amplifier. And then when you bring the amplifier in line, your SWR actually goes down. Well, what happens is the additional adding of circuit in line is bringing the system down to resonance. Whenever you put the amplifier in operation, the matching network and the tuning and the input and output is bringing your tune down to resonance. That's why sometimes when you run an amplifier, your SWR can be even better with it on than it is with it off. Well, it's because we have a pass-through SWR and we have a operational SWR. We have an SWR when the amplifier is off, the input comes into the front, goes through the relay, back out the relay, back out to the SO239 and goes out. Skips all the input, skips all the circuitry of the amplifier. That's called pass-through. Guys, it's imperative that the pass-through tune is flat or low before you ever address it to the front end of the amplifier. Then if you have a perfect matched or a perfect flat SWR at pass-through, then you bring the amplifier on. Now the signal's coming in to the amplifier, going through the relay, coming out of the relay, going all the way over to the input, going through the input transformer, going through devices, going out the output transformer. Now it's going back over to the relay and out to the SO239 connector. When you bring the amplifier on, and if your SWR jumps up, the problem's in the amplifier. So you either got imbalances between the input and the output, something in the amplifier's tuning network is causing your standing wave to go up. Because if you have a flat standing wave with the amplifier off, then you bring the amplifier on and the SWR goes up, the amplifier's causing the problem. Hope it makes sense. Y'all have a good day. Be kind.